So now we're in the section about factoring, which I believe begins in section 8.2, but we're going to factor by the greatest common factor. So we are going to take the biggest things, I don't want to use the word things, numbers and variables out of each one of these terms and factor it out. So we're going to look at the coefficients first. We've got a 24, we've got a 12, and we've got a 48, and those are all divisible by 12. Now we've got 4x's, we've got 5x's, we've got 3x's. So we're going to take here, actually let me, no, if I expand it, it'll take too long. But I'll just write it here. We've got 4x's here, we've got 5x's here, 3x's here. Oops. Okay, bye, Drew. And then we can take 3 out. We're going to take 3 out. Remember, greatest common factor. So the greatest is common to each one of these. So x a third. And we're going to take out as many y's as we can. We've got 8, we've got 6, we've got 5. The most we can take out are 5 y's. And we've got 10 z's, we've got 6 z's, we've got 4 z's. The most we can make out, the most we can take out are 4 z's. And now we're going to write what's left. So we took out 24 divided by 12 is 2. We took out 3x's, so we just have one more x left. We took out 5 y's, so now we're going to leave 3 y's in there. Easier, we'll make that up on Thursday. Sound good? Or next time you can come by. Okay, see ya. And we took out 4 z's, so that means we have 6 z's left. C is 6. Okay, we took out 12 divided by 12 is 1, so we don't have to write that 1 coefficient, so I'm just going to leave it. We've got 2 x's left, x squared. We've got 1 y left, and we've got 2 z's left. And we took out a 12, so 48 divided by 12 is 4. And we already took out all 3 x's, so we're not going to write them. We took out all 5 y's, so we're not going to write them. We took out all 4 z's, so we're not going to write them. We're done. Let's look at this next one, factoring by grouping. This looks a little odd. I'm already looking at it and noticing that there's something wrong. So we might have to make some rearrangements to make this one a little bit easier. And what I'm going to do, I like that green, so I'm going to notice that, yeah, there's more in common between these two than this with that. The most in common term I see with 16GH is 24G. So maybe if I rearrange this, I'm going to know what to do next. 24G. And now I'm beginning to see what's going on. And minus 2H minus 3. Okay, now I can see what's going on. So what's the GCF for these two terms in green here? What's the GCF? Whoops. Oh, what happened? Oh, there it is. The GCF is 8 goes into both of those, and there's a G in both of those. And what do I have left? I have 2H plus 3. Now look, this looks just like this, except these are negatives. So I'm going to take out a negative 1. And now I'm left with a positive 2H plus 3, just simply because if we divide negative 1 by these, the signs change. You can answer that if you want to. We close it. Okay, now we're seeing that this term and this term are being multiplied by the same binomial. So I can set up my... Now I can factor these, 2h plus 3, and guess what? We're finished. And if I were to go through and distribute these binomials, I would start out with this, just in a different order. Okay, so this one, what I like to do is first is write it in the order of descending exponents. X squared minus 10x minus 24. There's a formula to this. Start out. 2 parentheses. Step 2, break up your x's. Step 3, you look here and you see that that's a negative. Therefore, you're going to have 1 positive and 1 negative. Because a positive times a negative is a negative. And now we have to say, because that's a negative, we have to say what times what, whose difference, that when we subtract them, we get 10. So what times what? 12 times 2 is 24. And if I subtract them, I wind up with 10. So I know 12 and 2 are our candidates. Now I have to figure out which numbers go where. We only have 2 spots left. Because it's a negative 10, I'm going to put the 12 with the negative here. I'm going to put the 2 with the positive. And if I were to distribute this out, these binomials, I would get this same trinomial here. Okay? So we're just factoring trinomials again. And I think I already said this. Because that's a negative 10, put the higher number with the negative. Because when you get negative 12x, then you get positive 2x. And when I combine those, I get negative 10x, just like we have here. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, let's use the same formula as we did before. We are looking here, and we're seeing that that's a negative. Therefore, we're going to have one positive and one negative. We're going to break up the m's. And we're going to say what times what. Whoops, I put the m in the wrong place. We're going to say what times what is equal to 35, whose difference is 2. Well, I'm just going to go ahead. Maybe you can pause it and think about it, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. The answer is 7 and 5. 7 times 5 is 32. 7 minus 5 is 2. I'm going to put the 7 with the negative because the 2 is a negative, and I'm going to put the 5 with the positive. Finally, we've got to rearrange this. We're going to subtract the 16, and this is about we're going to find the zeros of this one also, and I'm going to explain what that means in one moment after I can find the appropriate pen. I'm going to subtract 16 on both sides. Now I'm going to write it in the order of descending exponents. Plus 16h plus 48 is equal to 0. Okay? So what times what is equal to 48? Well, we've got 6 times 8. Oh, let me back up. 2 sets of parentheses. Remember our formula. Break up the h's. Look here. It's a positive. That means it's either 2 negatives or 2 positives. But then we look here. That's positive also, so we have 2 positives. Okay, so now we need to ask ourselves, what times what is equal to 48, whose sum is 16? And when we add them together, we get 16. Is 6 plus 8? Does 6 plus 8 equal to 16? No, it does not. What about 12 times 4? Does 12 plus 4 equal 16? Whoops, I meant to write 14 here. Does 12 plus 4 equal 16? Yes, so we know it's 12 and we know it's 4. And we set these both equal to 0, which we did in class. H plus 12 is equal to 0. That means h is equal to negative 12. H plus 4 is equal to 0. That means h is equal to negative 4. So you would write h is equal to negative 12, negative 4. And we just found the intercepts of our parabolas, which we'll be going over in the future.